Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker signed legislation today in Chicago. He believes it could grow Illinois' economy, bringing more jobs here to the state.
That's right. Illinois Capitol Bureau Chief Max Cotton explains how the new law aims to incentivize economic growth.
With the stroke of a pen, the Business Development Omnibus Package is now law in Illinois.
This omnibus package will help Illinois businesses expand. It'll help them create more well-paying jobs. It cuts the red tape to expedite job creation, continues our successful attraction of high-growth industries, and incentivizes new and existing businesses across downstate Illinois.
The new law extends both the REV and EDGE incentive programs, as well as the film industry and research and development tax credits. It also makes it easier for companies to access Blue Collar Jobs Act credits. It recodifies the eligibility standards for companies to access the micro program while making it easier for smaller businesses specializing in quantum computing, semiconductor, and microchip production to enter the market. The law also creates a quantum enterprise zone. Building upon a $500 million investment in the new budget, the state hopes to create a quantum campus, which could attract as much as $11 billion in federal money and $20 billion in private investment, according to the governor's office.
The bill positions Illinois very well to take advantage of this technological advancement, expands the current incentive programs, and updates our business development tools to make sure Illinois remains competitive for jobs and new capital investment.
And today is about more than just tax credits or incentive packages. It's about the continued revitalization of our communities and of our economy.
In Springfield, Max Cotton, WGEM News.
Now, by the way, the new law also expands eligibility and incentives. Grocery stores in underserved areas will now be allowed to apply for assistance under both the Grocery Initiative Act and High Impact Business Program. They previously were only allowed to apply under one of those programs.